Torture Talk, you know what it is. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page. So, yesterday I did Where Do Drake Go From Here? What's next? And now I'm going to do Where Does Kendrick Go From Here? So, coming off a historical battle, Kendrick Lamar reigns supreme over Drake. Now this battle been brewing for years. I'm talking like over 12 years we've been waiting for this, and it wasn't disappointing at all. I think that it could have went longer, but the safe way is to get in and get out. That's the best way I could put it. Nobody got hurt. All the reports from people trying to attack Drake's home, which is stupid. I don't know why they would do that. People were trying to do that. I believe that these are just crazy, stupid fans, and this is not the first time that has ever happened to Drake house. I believe people try to do that all the time. Plus, Drake house is in a open space. Everybody knows where it's at, and it's just there. You know what I'm saying? Really big mansion, yes, security, all that good stuff. But where does Kendrick go from here? Now, Kendrick Lamar has been coming out with albums every 3 to 4 to 5 years, right? Most of his work is over 5 albums. So we have Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Then if you want to throw Section 80 in there, that's before all of them, or actually before that, Overly Dedicated, Section 80 is those two. And then you also have other albums that he did, Untitled, Unmastered, and Black Panther soundtrack. So where does Kendrick go from here? At this stage of his career, Kendrick can actually retire if he wanted to. He don't necessarily have to do anything else. I think that Kendrick Lamar has completed his career. And I know people saying, well, how did he complete his career? Because he beat the rival that he's been trying to beat for years. He conquered the rival that he's been trying to conquer. I think Drake was his, how would I say this? Drake was his arch nemesis. And I think he took him out. Took him out to the point where he can actually go on with his career, and he has a significant victory on his resume. See, taking somebody out like Drake is a big deal. Now, is Drake going to go away forever? I don't think so. But taking somebody out like him is a big deal because, number one, Drake is the biggest artist in the world. So for you to come in and systematically destroy this man and put a stain on him that he's probably not going to be able to shake, and everybody's still talking about it, is a big deal. So Kendrick drops his first Like That. He went from Like That to Euphoria to 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and They Not Like Us. In a span of 2 months, let's just say 2 months, even though the last ones came out in 4 days. Within 2 months, he did more for hip hop than I would say than most people in the last 5 years. I think that Kendrick Lamar has set hip hop back on fire. And not only are they looking for him, they're also looking for other people now. And he also did something too that I think a lot of people didn't notice. He made people pay attention to concepts, lyrics, and songs that have a meaning. I don't think that, and this is no diss to Ice Spice, this is no diss to 21 Savage, It's no diss to any of these other artists. Now I know they have their fan base, but see, for me, I can't listen to that no more because the quality of music has just been risen. I also can't listen to Drake sing no more. After I heard all that rapping that he's doing, he should just come out with a rap album. From here on out, Drake should just rap. He shouldn't do no more ballads. Just rap, dog. That's how I'm looking at it from now on. If you're not doing what Drake and Kendrick has done, and I'm talking like, if you're popular, if you're not doing what they did, don't even hit me with the music. Don't do it. Because it's not going to do nothing for me. That's just me. But Kendrick is in a great position right now. Great position. I know people saying, well, this is his rollout. He was rolling his album out. He rolled his album out on Drake. You know, he was saying that. And I'm saying to myself, like, if that's the case, that's cool. But we already know when Kendrick comes, when he comes with a project, it's something that's meaningful. Whether you like it or not, it's still meaningful. It touches you in some type of way. And that's what I believe, that when people was talking about, they didn't like the fact that Kendrick was lying, I think because he's the grown up in this battle. He's the adult. So I think that Kendrick, I don't think that nobody's really going to test him anymore. Because you got to understand, Kendrick Lamar is, I would say, he's almost perfect as an artist. Almost. Maybe he may be 99%. Very close to 100 in my book. And I know people say, well, nothing's perfect. He's very close to it. And I believe that he might be perfect if he drops another classic album to me. What I'm saying is, he's gotten to the point in his career where he can do whatever. Kendrick Lamar is one of those artists that's balanced at everything. Anything you could think of, he's very balanced at. Whether you like him or not, you can't deny it. He's balanced at everything. The only thing that I would say that doesn't make him 100% to me, and it's not his fault, it's time. The time. What I mean by that is, he doesn't have the time that Jay, Nas, and M has in the game. But he has already accomplished 80% of what they accomplished. The only thing that they accomplished more than him is that they have the time in the game. But the thing about Kendrick is he moves as if he has the same amount of time that they have. The growth. This is why I believe Kendrick is in a better position than Drake. And I don't want to take this time to shit on Drake because that's not what this is about, but I do have to point out some things. Drake never grew as an artist. His core fan base likes him from the day they liked him up until now. But he's never matured as an artist. He literally does the same type of music. The content is the same. There's nothing different. He raps different songs. He raps different lyrics. But the content of the music is absolutely the same. If you go from his first album, Thank Me Later, all the way up to For All the Dogs, everything is the same. There's nothing to me that I could say it stands out as something emotional or something political or something that does something for the culture or society. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'll talk about that a little bit later about Drake. and what I believe that he has done, because talking about relationships is a big deal to certain people, because that's relatable. You don't have to be always political, and I get it, but he hasn't grown as an artist. He does the same thing. Now, Kendrick, on the other hand, Kendrick has done all types of music in the rap sphere. Anything you can think of, every one of his albums sound totally different from each other. He grew as an artist, even up till today. The last song he released, Not Like Us. He never rapped like that before. He never had that flow. None of that. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to address the Twitter writers. I want to address that in a second. But anyway, so he going from Section 80 all the way up to Mr. Morale, he has changed and grew as an artist. He hasn't changed, but he grew as an artist. You still know who he is, but he grew as an artist. He has a lot of, he has a very good aura about him. This is how you know that this guy is special, is because he don't really fraternize with a lot of rappers like that, or a lot of people. And on top of that, if Kendrick Lamar walks in a room and Jay-Z's in a room and Nas is in a room and Eminem's in a room, he stands out just like them. I'll argue that Drake do too, because of his popularity. But I think Kendrick is much more of a fascinating person that people would want to study. Same as Jay-Z, same as Nas, same as M. These guys, you know about their life, but you really don't know about their life. They like really don't know about their life. Now, to the people who, okay, nothing's new under the sun. Let's just get this out the way. People say, oh, Kendrick is stealing bars. Oh, I heard that he took that bar from this person. Listen, you ever did something and then you realize that someone else did the same exact thing you did, or thought of the same idea you thought of? It's like, oh, I want to think of how to shoot ice cream in a cone. Maybe if I get a tube and squeeze it, it'll go into the cone. Then you go online and you see somebody invented something squeezing ice cream into a cone. And you say, well, I thought of that first. How do you know if you thought of that first? How do you know if you thought of that first? How do you know if that person got it from you? They could have thought of it just like you thought of it. It's a common thing. OVO, OVHO, OVHO, OVO, OVHO. That's not a stretch. Anybody can think of that. I don't understand how people were saying, well, he took that from somebody offline. What if he thought of it? What if he thought of it and told his cousin? And his cousin told somebody and told somebody and told somebody. And then somebody told that person that told that person and told that person, and it got to that person and they put it online. I've seen that happen before. I don't get it. And the same thing with the A minor. That's a common thing. A minor. Who, if you're saying Drake's a singing guy and he is messing with young girls, then you would think that he would use that in a battle. A minor. You sing in A minor. I don't see how is that such a leap? I don't see how people were thinking that he couldn't have thought of that himself. Like, he's going on Twitter and looking for, first of all, why would you go on Twitter to look for bars? That doesn't make sense. I've never seen anybody go on X or Twitter to type in, what bars should how would you even type that? What did Kendrick do? He typed in, I'm looking for new bars to diss Drake with. And these bars popped up. How would he have even seen all this? There's a 500 million people on Twitter. How would he have seen this? I don't get it. But see, people, they like to link things together. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, so he's at the position in his career where he can move any way he wants right now. And I think it's genius that Kendrick Lamar is still working with Top Dog, and he has his own label, and everything is in his name. And I also want to say this too, for everybody who doesn't know. Kendrick Lamar has released all of his music, all the diss tracks, you can monetize off of. All of them. There's no copyright strike on it. He just released it. So this way, everybody who's reacting to Kendrick Lamar's music, all the songs he did from the diss tracks, they're basically, you keep the money. Now I'm going to tell you why that's a genius move, and I'm going to tell you why that's the reason why he got more views than Drake. See, Drake couldn't do that because Drake is signed to, basically Drake doesn't own anything. If you don't know, if you don't believe me, I could tell y'all, I could go through the whole thing. Kendrick Lamar owns his own stuff now. So anything he does from here on out, it's his. I believe UMG or UMK, whatever it is, their distribution company for him. But he owns, or Interscope, and he owns the rest of his stuff, or most of it, I would say. The thing about Drake is Drake don't own any of his stuff. He sold everything. He got paid, I believe, $400 million. And he's required to, I believe, release 2 albums a year. And he's also everything from even his interviews, his clothing line, anything you could think of, he doesn't own any of it. Nothing. Zero. He owns the money that they gave him. Now, I don't know how long the contract is. I don't know. I heard it was 10 years. I heard it was 4 years. I heard it was 5 years. I don't know. I don't. But he doesn't own anything. So Kendrick releasing that is genius because you know who monetized off all this? Kendrick and the fans. Because you know what? The more people react to his music, the more they get paid, the more views he get. I don't think that any artist has ever thought of that. I don't think they ever thought of that. Because people, the record labels are so greedy, they look at it from this point of view. If, let's say, for instance, I have, 15,000 people on a stream. They look at it as if that's 15,000 streams that I just lost. That's why they copyright strike it. Boom. Nope, you can't do that because that's a lot of streams. 100,000, 200,000. It's a lot of streams. I can't allow that. What Kendrick basically did was say, fuck y'all. I'm going to let them do it. And I'm going to get millions of views either way because they're going to come to me and watch the videos. And they're going to get paid too. That's a genius move. So there's a lot of things that Kendrick Lamar has done in the span of 2 months to hip hop. A lot of things. And I think that a lot of people don't want to give him credit for it, but you got to. You have to give Kendrick credit. You have to. You can say whatever you want to say, but when he wasn't here, when the boogeyman wasn't here, hip hop was stale. Even with all the 5 verses that G.O.A.T came out with, it was still stale. He came in and lit a fire under it. Boof. And blew up. Now everybody's doing stuff. You got Game coming out dissing Rick Ross. Chris Brown dissing Quavo. Like, Quavo dissing Chris Brown. Like, everybody's dissing each other. Which, to me, could be a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing. But he made it interesting again. And somebody said, somebody said that, well, he just got a number one. Not Like Us is number one, and I believe Euphoria is number three. And people were saying, well, what it is it's because Drake. Okay. But my counter argument to that is, then how come everybody don't go number one when they say something about Drake? Or how come Drake ain't go number one? How can you say that this man made Kendrick go number one, but Drake didn't go number one? The guy who's in charge of it. That doesn't make sense. So this battle taught, I don't think that Kendrick is an arrogant guy. I think he just knows that he has a gift, and I think he displays it very well. I think he's been waiting for this for a long time, and it finally came, and he showed everybody why he's where he's at. I know a lot of people don't even put Kendrick in their top 10 of all time. I know some people do put him in the top 10. See, for me, Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time. And I know a lot of people probably looking at me like I got three heads. Oh, you're crazy. How could you say that? There's so many people that's been doing it. How could you say that? What about this person? What about that person? There's a bunch of different reasons why. The main reason why is because he hasn't done anything bad. Whether you might not like it, but you can't say it's bad. He has a significant sound. He's for the culture. He is hip hop. 100%. Anything you could think of, Kendrick Lamar has done it. And he done it in magnificent fashion, and he done it very well. Very well. Not like, oh, he's just trying it out. Nah. And he's successful. And he got multiple awards. And he can rap. What can you really say to that? There's nothing you can really say. You can't say anything. You might have your preference, and you might say, I believe he's better. But I can make a case. If you can come on here and debate me about why Kendrick Lamar isn't the greatest, I'll have so many counter arguments of why. You can put anybody up. You could put Jay-Z up. You could put Eminem up. You could put Biggie. You could put Pac. You could put Nas. You could put anybody up. And I can guarantee you, I will debate you and win the debate every time. The only thing that you could probably get me on, matter of fact, the only thing you can get me on is time. That's it. And you already eliminated two of them out of that. But that's the only thing. Outside of that, I have an argument for everything. Any and everything that you could think of why Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time. That's what I feel. So where does Kendrick go from here? What's next for him? I believe that Kendrick Lamar should just do what he do as far as making classic albums, making good albums, and keep it moving. Now, before I get out of here, I did see people say that Drake, some people said that Drake is going to drop another track. Listen, that would be stupid. And I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think Drake's going to do that. Actually, I know he's not going to do that because he just put up something on his Instagram saying that, he's ready for some summer hits, summer music. I believe that Drake, at this point in his career, he just took the L and he has no choice but to take it. But I can almost guarantee you this. He will never sneak diss Kendrick Lamar again. Never. And I don't think that none of them will. I don't think no rapper is going to sneak diss Kendrick Lamar at this point. I don't care who you are. I don't think they are. I think that they're going to let this ride out. And I do believe that I personally think that Kendrick Lamar maybe do like 2 or 3 more albums, and I think he's gonna retire. That's what I feel. But that's why I think he's gonna go from here. I think he's just gonna make another classic. Gonna keep it going. I don't think he's gonna focus on Drake no more. I think he's in album mode, and everybody knows it's coming, and that's gonna be that. So either way, man, you know what it is. Sketchpad Torch Talk. See y'all. Peace. Bye. Out of here, man.